snack. Me and you gonna have a little chat about books. Hi guys, so I am here today to do a tag video. I don't do very many tags, but I was tagged in this one a while back by Sana from Inkbone Books, so I will link her channel down below and you guys can go and check her out. This was originally created as a blog post but has been brought over to YouTube by Perpetual Pages, so again I will link that down below and you can go and look at that. Let's get started. This is the A to Z Bookish Survey Tag. All of the questions in this tag correspond to a letter from the alphabet. The first one for A is the author that you have read the most. For me, that is Brandon Sanderson. As you can see, I've got an awful lot of his books behind me, and I've pretty much read almost everything he's written. I really enjoy his writing style and the ideas that he comes up with. I think he's one of the best writers. So yeah, I pretty much have read everything by him except one book. He's definitely my favourite author and I love his writing, so he's the one I've read the most. The next one for B is the best sequel ever. For this I put The Lord of Chaos, which is book number 6 in Wheel of Time, because I read this not too long ago, a couple of months, and I loved it. I thought it was amazing. It really got me back into the Wheel of Time series. It made me really excited to continue. The ending was mind-blowing and it was just amazing. So if you are reading Wheel of Time, book number 6, one of my favourites in the whole series for sure, and definitely a great sequel. Next is the books that I am currently reading. I'm currently reading 3 books. I usually read about 3 at the same time because I tend to read one on my Kindle, one in a physical edition, and one as an audiobook. Currently on audiobook I am listening to number 9 in Wheel of Time. I'm also currently reading 2 physical books instead of 1. The first one I've very nearly finished, and that is A Cavern of Black Ice, book 1 of Sword of Shadows, which is by J.V. Jones. I am 91% of the way through this, really close to the end, and I should finish this one today, so hopefully I will be filming a review for this either today or tomorrow, and you guys will see that soon. The final book that I'm also currently reading is number 3 in the Farseer trilogy by Robin Hobb, and this is Assassin's Quest. And I really enjoyed the first and second books, but this one hasn't gripped my attention that much. Hopefully I will really enjoy it as I get further through. I'm not far at all. I am like 5%, not far. And it's an 800 and so page book, so there's a lot to get through still. But I'm definitely going to be continuing on with this as soon as I finish A Cavern of Black Ice. Next, for the letter D, is the drink that you tend to have when you are reading. And for me, I usually drink squash most of the time. I don't really like water, so any sort of squash. I tend to usually have a bottle by my bed. This isn't just the pure squash, it does have water in it, so I can just pick it up and drink it at my leisure. I don't like having to leave my book to get up and go and get a new fresh cup of water, so I just have a bottle by my bed. And that sees me through. For E, the question is e-reader or physical book. As you guys know, I read both of them and I don't have anything against physical or e-books. I love my Kindle for when I am out and about. I love it for travelling. I also love it for when I am reading at night because obviously it lights up. However, I do enjoy reading physical books too, and I love having a book collection, so yeah, both. I'm quite happy with both. Next is a fictional character that you would have dated in school. Now, this one I kind of struggled with because a lot of fictional characters are not people I would have dated. I don't think many of them I would have dated, to be honest, because I'm not really into the whole looks thing. I like the personality. So judging it off of personality, probably I would have to go for someone like Ron Weasley from Harry Potter because he's funny and he's charming. He doesn't have the best looks, but he's just an entertaining person. So maybe I would have dated Ron Weasley. I don't have a crush on him as such, but if I had to go for someone, his personality is funny and entertaining, so Ron Weasley, I guess. For G, which book are you glad that you gave the chance to? And for that, it's The Three-Body Problem by Cixin Liu, because I read this as part of a buddy read with a load of booktubers and we had a great time and did a live show about it, and I really had no idea what the book was about when I picked it up and agreed to do the live show, but I really enjoyed it and it was definitely a venture into sci-fi that I haven't really been into too much before, but I really enjoyed it. Plus it's a translated work and it has encouraged me to want to pick up more translated works in the future because they're really different and they're really intriguing and that's a great thing. So that one I really enjoyed. Next for H is the hidden gem of a book, and for me that was The Saga of Rex, which is by Michael Gagné, because this book I picked up on a whim and I didn't really know anything about, but the artwork and the style of drawing is just so stunning. It's kind of a kid's book, it would be appropriate for kids, and it's all told through pictures. There's very, very little writing in the whole thing, and it's just so beautifully illustrated that this book was so much better than I had ever imagined it being, and it's really cute, really charming. So I would definitely say this is a little bit of a hidden gem. For I, important moment in your reading life, for me that would be starting a YouTube channel. I've always loved reading. I've never had a moment in my life where I haven't enjoyed picking up a book, but I do think that starting YouTube has made me pick up more books, and it's given me a much wider variety of books that I choose from. It's also opened my eyes to different genres, and it's helped me connect with other people who love reading as much as me and who have great recommendations and have wonderful personalities, awesome channels, and I spend a lot of my time on YouTube watching booktube related videos. So yeah, that's a big turning point in my life, was when I started my own channel, and everything kind of kicked off from there. That was really fun. For J, it is just finished. The book that I just recently finished is Promise of Blood by Brian McClellan, and I really enjoyed this book. It wasn't as exciting as I had hoped, but it was really interesting because it was the first Flintlock fantasy I've ever read, so I will definitely be continuing on with the series. There will be a review of that coming out very soon. Yeah, it was something that was very different to what I had imagined it being, actually, but not in a bad way. It was just interesting, and it was something different to what I've read recently, so I'll talk more about that in my review. K, the kind of books that I won't read. I don't tend to read much crime fiction. I'm not a huge fan of crime fiction, and I tend to find that a lot of them are quite predictable, or I just don't enjoy them. Also, horror. I've never read any horror really, except in graphic novel format, because I can kind of deal with it then. If I leave my mind to imagine the horrible things, I don't think I would be able to sleep that night. I'm quite overactive in my imagination, so if I read something spooky, I'm probably going to have a nightmare about it. But yeah, don't want to read horror for that reason. Also, contemporary is a genre that I really struggle with because I know so many people love it, and I just don't. I haven't found the right sort of books in the genre, I think. However, if someone I trust and someone who reads similar books to me and enjoys similar things to me recommends a book in those genres to me, then likelihood is I will still pick it up. I don't have anything against the genres, I just haven't found my kind of gateway book into them yet. So any suggestions of horror, contemporary or crime, let me know, because I have not read much. I've read The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. I think that kind of counts as crime, and I really enjoyed that series, but other crime books, not so much, so we'll see. In the future, maybe. The longest book that you have ever read for L, according to my Goodreads, A Storm of Swords, which is apparently 1,177 pages. And it's by George R.R. Martin. It's part of the Song of Ice and Fire series. M, major book hangover because of Words of Radiance. This book was so damn good that I just didn't want to read anything for a little while after it, because it was so amazing and I loved it so much that I just couldn't think that anything would compare. Obviously other stuff does compare, and I was just in a little bit of a slump after reading that, but I really enjoyed this book. I would highly recommend this series to you guys. If you do like Sanderson, certainly pick this up, because it's a great series. This is book 2 in the Stormlight Archive. But yeah, this book was so amazing that I just didn't want to read anything else for a little while, to kind of let it sink in and just imagine and remember all of the characters and the wonders of this world, because it's so cool. Number of bookcases that you own. I have this one, which is a big one, and this one, and then I also have another one over there. For O, we have one book that I've read multiple times. For me, I haven't read many books multiple times, but I have read The Hunger Games, all 3 of them in that series, twice. I also think I've reread Noughts and Crosses by Mallory Blackman, because I really enjoyed that story when I was younger, and I think it's one of the best YAs out there. So if you've not read that, definitely read that. I think that kind of comes under contemporary as well, so that's a good contemporary. My preferred place to read. My bed. I love sitting in bed and reading a book, or on the sofa. I will sit on the sofa and read, but the bed is definitely comfier than the sofa. The sofa is kind of the backup when I'm told that I should get out of bed, so bed. A quote that inspires you or gives you feels from a book that you've read. I can't remember like many quotes out of any books because a lot of fantasy quotes are amazing. I just can't remember them off the top of my head. The only quote that kind of springs to mind is "That was bloody brilliant, miss," by Ron Weasley when he's talking to Professor McGonagall in Harry Potter. Can't even remember which book, but I really enjoyed that quote because that was a funny one, and in the film that makes me laugh, and in the book that makes me laugh, so it's a good quote. It's not very meaningful or sentimental, but it's just funny. Reading regret for R. I wouldn't say I really regret what I have read. Most of the books I read knowing I'm probably going to enjoy them because I've done a little bit of research or they've been recommended by people I trust. However, one thing I would like to read more, and I regret that I haven't had more time for, is classics, because I do think I would enjoy so many more classics if I could get to them. I really want to get to some more Charles Dickens because I do seem to like his writing style. But yeah, I'm sure in the future I will. I have got some of his books on my shelf, so definitely that will happen at some point. I just need to find the time for it, maybe in the summer of next year when I can sort of settle down and just pick up a book. We'll see. Series that you have started and need to finish. This is not even a question that I can answer. There are so many series that I have started and not finished. I'm trying to get through them. I'm trying to cut them down steadily. I really want to, in 2015, get some series done. I said that with 2014. I got a few done, but nowhere near as many as I would have liked. So 2015 is the year for finishing up the series. I have so many that I need to get done. My current priority for 2015 is definitely Wheel of Time because I'm on book 9. There are 5 books after book 9. I need to finish that up. 5 months of 2015 can be dedicated to a book a month and I will be done. So hopefully in 2015 that will definitely happen. For T, it is 3 of your favourite books of all time. For me, I would have to say that that award goes to The Painted Man by Peter V. Brett. I love this series and I discovered the series on my own. No one recommended it to me, so finding this series and loving it was absolutely wonderful. I'd never heard of it before. It's amazing. It's all about a world where demons come out at night and the people of this world are really scared, so they have to try and be convinced to fight back and take control of their own lives and not live in fear. And it's a really inspiring, fun, awesome story. So if you've not read this, definitely recommend this. It's a great read. My second favourite, or one of my other favourites because I got many, is the Mistborn series by Sanderson. I absolutely love this series. I think it is incredible. The powers and the world building and the development of characters and the plot, it's all amazing, and this is one of the reasons that I absolutely adore Sanderson. His world building and his power creation and magic systems are all so cool, so definitely check this out if you've not. And the third one I would recommend is The Lies of Locke Lamora by Scott Lynch. This is a really fun story. 2 characters who are amazing together. They are a double act, they are entertaining, they are fun, quirky, full of charisma, and I just love them. So if you've not read any Scott Lynch, I would definitely recommend this because he is amazing as well. So those 3 are all great. Unapologetic fangirl for Sanderson. Obviously Sanderson. I love him and I will freely admit that a million times because I think his work is amazing. So I am definitely a Sanderson fangirl. Very excited for this release more than all the others is V, and for that I chose the new book The Skull Throne, which is part of the Demon Cycle series by Peter V. Brett, who writes The Painted Man. I'm so excited for that, I cannot wait. W is the worst reading habit that I have, and for me that would be probably buying so many books that I have no idea when I will actually get to read them all. As you guys can see, I've got loads. These pictures just show you that, but I will get to them all at some point, I have no doubt. X marks the spot. Start at the top of your shelf and pick the 27th book. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. Oh, why does it have to be at the bottom? Typical. So the 27th book on my shelf is an Enid Blyton book because all of my Enid Blyton books take up the whole of the top shelf. and it is The Faraway Tree Collection by Enid Blyton. For why it is your latest book purchase, so I haven't been buying books recently, so I've got two options. The first one is Promise of Blood, which I read very recently and I bought that on my Kindle. The second option, which is technically the one I have bought most recently, is The Everything Store, Jeff Bezos and the Age of Amazon, which is by Brad Stone. This book I bought because I am doing an essay about Amazon and John Lewis and I wanted to find out more about Amazon, so there you go. Exciting. Probably won't be reviewing that one, but yeah, that's what I bought for my uni course, so. For Z, it is The Zzz Snatcher, which I think means when you stay up late reading a book. So for me, the last book that I ended up staying up really late to read was Royal Assassin by Robin Hobb, which I finished fairly recently and I enjoyed a lot. I don't know, this book I had finished uni and I didn't have to go in, so I stayed up quite late reading this a couple of nights and I got through it fairly fast as well, so yeah, this one.
Finish the tag!
So, thank you guys for watching this video. That was the first tag video I've done in quite a while, but I enjoyed doing it, and if you ever fancy tagging me in any video, go for it, and I will try in 2015 to get more tag videos done. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you all very soon in my next video. Bye! Me and you gonna have a little chat about books.